Greetings, Pickle Jar. Cat Flaps here. Now, I must confess that I am not a full-blooded demon. My father was an Austrian pit lord, but my mother was English, so you can imagine that sort of upbringing. Now, I have been trying to become more evil. Your lectures have been a great help. And this latest dollar challenge, rather an interesting concept, I have to say. We don't actually use dollars this side of the pond. We use pounds sterling, occasionally pounds of flesh, but I managed to get one changed. There you have it. Of course, I had to get my normal money changed first into a big pile of simple pennies, so that the woman had to spend more time, waste her way just counting each individual one, to wear her down a bit. It's the little things in life that get you through the day. Now, I was thinking exactly what could I do with this, and I thought I'd just take an old, very simple idea and just add $1 into the mix to stir things up a bit. I also purchased a simple fizzy drink and a pack of these. You can probably see where this is going. It's a very simple trick. You hide a single Mentos, what's that, a Mento, a Mentos, a Mentipid, whatever. You hide one of these inside the cap of that in such a matter that when it gets moved, it fizz all over the place. Now, normally this is just irritating, but when money's involved, it just escalates. You see, I shall hide this underneath the fizzy drink, so that it prompts a complete stranger to want to move it. Now, in this country, the smallest note form of currency is £5. Now, £5 turns out to be about $9.4. I don't claim to have a great skill with numeracy, but growing up I did notice that a lot of my father's friends were accountants. He was, after all, a pit lord. Anyway, that's the bait, if you will, that someone sees something and they think it's worth that much, but of course it isn't. They shall move the fizzy drink, at which point it shall fizz all over the place, hopefully getting them at least mildly damp. Not greatly evil, but I do believe that enough of these annoyances can prompt someone to bring a shotgun into their work, which is, at the end of the day, what we're all working towards. Now, whether or not they actually get soaked by the ensuing fizz explosion, it shall make a mess. That is pretty much guaranteed. And any passer-by shall blame that person instantly. The strangers that pass by shall heap blame and disdain with a simple sort of smirk in their direction, to show how they disapprove and don't value the person at all and think they've just made a mess in public and how they should be ashamed of themselves. So, after the dampness and the shame from strangers, which is a fantastic tool to use, they shall retrieve the note. At which point they notice two things. One, it's only about 1/10 of what they thought it was actually worth in terms of currency, and second of all, that they can't actually use it in this country. A double whammy of currency hell, if you will. And then, just when they think it can't get any worse, they see this. Now, I didn't actually write any speech lines leading to George's mouth, but I don't need to. His eyes sort of follow you around the room as you move it. It's quite eerie, I have to say. Congratulations on whoever designed this thing. It's just a little bit of an extra, they're wet, they're ridiculed, they've got something that's far worthless than they originally planned to receive, and now it's ridiculing them. Now, I know before you wrote, you will never amount to anything to give to children, which is fantastic, inspired, really is. But the person who picks this up might have already achieved something, so it's a bit more of a dangerous game. But with ha-ha, well, ridicule, that cuts through all generations. No matter how successful you are, someone laughing at your expense after you've just unfortunately made a mess and been cheated out of what you thought was a lot of money. Well, I'll do that and I'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it'll be rather interesting. I mean, it's not really one big lump sum of evil, it's just a lot of little tiny, mildly evil things. This didn't actually cost me as much as it would someone in America. I mean, the dollar is not as much as the pound, which means that if this could buy you 2 donuts in America, it could only buy you 1 over here. So essentially it actually cost me less to get this than it would for an American. I mean, yes, it's still a dollar, but in terms of actual worldly wealth, I only lost about half the value of it in terms of what things I can actually buy. It's just a cherry on the proverbial cake of evil, you know, that I did this but actually spent even less than the already low standard. So, I mean, I could have bought 2 and done it twice, but, you know, that's... I don't feel like repeating myself. Well, that's all I have for today, so, you know, thank you very much for these lectures. They are absolutely wonderful, you know, a hell send, really. It's great to actually know someone who knows what they're talking about when discussing evil. I look forward to more lectures and indeed more challenges, and I'll see you in hell. Hail Satan.